Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome to Vibe 25 Podcast, where we lose our mind and come to our senses. And I would have given you like a sneak peek preview of today's episode. And it's all about, what's happening, relief, release, endometriosis, PCOS, periods, all that girly stuff. It's about life, it's about creation, it's about feeling what's inside and expressing it outwardly through dance, and how we cope with PCOS, periods, all these stuff through dance. So today we have the beautiful, the ever so lovely overdue boss. I feel as though we like overdue queens.
Am I in your league here? I don't know.
But this is Simone Gill. Simone, I feel like as though this episode has been in the works for 6 months. Since December.
Listen, right? Oh,
Since
man.
December. I mean, like, we've been trying to do this, and it's just something. But, good things come
To those who wait. I agree,
to those who wait. So, we're here. I'm so excited. We had a little preview talk before.
We did. It got deep.
So deep within like seconds. So I'm like so excited to see where this goes. But I asked someone to do this today because I've experienced, I have my own personal issues with period pains, anything that happens down there around that time of the month. And I just thought, we never talk about this at dancing. We always see, if we have long rehearsals or we have strenuous things to do in choreography, we just say, guys, today I'm on my period, just be like a little gentle. But that's the end of the conversation. Like, nothing ever happens after that. So
I think the really unfortunate thing about having your period in rehearsal is that because our rehearsals, especially for dance in Africa, tend to be like a process.
yes,
all of us have our period at the same time. Like,
yeah,
we all just sync up
it's
together.
sync. So we all have our periods, we're all miserable, we all like just in this space of yuckiness, because you're sweating and you're bleeding too. So
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Not okay.
So I just think this is the space now to have this conversation, and I thought that you would be the perfect person because I'm a very empathetic. I really look at people without saying anything, and I just saw that you were in so much pain during rehearsals from like 5 years ago, and we're still here talking about it. So first of all, before we get into that, Simone, tell me about yourself, who you are, your dance experience, and your entire journey.
So, who I am, I think I'm energetic a little bit. I am very blunt, so my
Yes.
friends, they take a little
What's your
bit.
sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh my gosh,
Straight to the point.
a Leo. Ooh,
But
not my favorite sign, but okay.
I'm confused. We are blessed and highly favored. Anyway,
Yes.
so I think I'm energetic. I'm bubbly. I'm very blunt. I try to get to the point as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned, to handle my filter a little better over the years. In terms of my dance history, I have been dancing since I was 4 years old. I started at Dance Place with Adonia and Jara Lee and Tanya Wardo.
We actually had Amber last episode, which is
I saw.
Adonia's daughter. So that's cool. Mm-hmm.
It is. And they look so much alike the old pictures you would see of Adonia
And then Amber, yeah.
Speaking image. But I left Dance Place at 14 and I went over to Dance in Africa with Jennifer Seeley, and that was great. It was just, I was a fish out of water for that first African class and the 15 to follow, but we are somehow getting it today.
Yeah,
somehow
we got a little rhythm.
But so I went to dance in Africa, and that's where I would have, I can't say met up with Aisha because I knew her from Dance Place as well, but we became more acquainted, and she formed Rhythm Tribe, and I then became a founding member of Rhythm Tribe.
By the way, that's how I met you, through Dance in Africa.
Yes,
Just to say,
we know each other years. Because I'm now 25, so 11 at least.
Yes.
So when I'm still in Rhythm Tribe, I'm still in Dance in Africa, you know, I still have the ballet training from Dance Place, so everything coming together, wrapped up nicely in a bow. I finished my chemistry degree at UE, and then I went over to London to study.
So also all this dancing, just like me. We're doing all this dancing here, there, and everywhere, but we're not studying dance. We're studying something else, which is good because we're a multifaceted person.
Very true, but I really wished I could have studied dance.
Same.
My mom just thought like dance in the Caribbean is not really a viable option financially.
Yeah.
You need to have a stable
It's not
career.
resourceful as
If anything happens, like you get injured, you need to have that backup option. So it was just, you know, chemistry, sciences, that's what I was good at. That's what made sense. That's what was logical. So that's what I followed. I went over to London to study my master's in forensic medical science. But if I wasn't studying, I was dancing. And that's where I danced with Zaya Arts. And I just taught a few classes with them.
Shout out to Sophie.
Hey, Sophia.
Yeah.
So, and Nathan, he's the resident DJ with them. So, yeah, they are, you know, fantastic. So, after Zaya, I came back home after my mom's passing, and I finished my master's. I came back to Barbados, and I'm like doing the prep work to start my brand and dancing with Rhythm Tribe and Dance in Africa, and, you know, trying to find a job in the mortuary field.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a busy life.
Yeah. Whoa, that's fantastic. So good. Before we get into the meat of the matter,
Okay.
can you tell me the bop of the week? Like,
Okay,
your
my
bop of the week. Yes.
My bop. So my bop of the week actually doesn't have that much energy to it. It's definitely more vibey. It's called African Lady by
Masego.
There we go. That was a little inside joke, guys. You don't even know. So yeah, it's very I don't know, I don't even really hear the words so much.
Just
it's the
rhythm.
instruments and the rhythm behind it and the beat and the changes.
If you don't know Masego, he is a very well-rounded singer, musician, saxophone, piano, drums, everything he does. So I'm definitely feeling that Masego vibe too.
He speaks to the soul,
definitely. For me, my bop of the week, I've been teaching a lot of one-on-one classes, and they've been requesting a lot of Afro beats, Afro Caribbean, Afro everything. So I've been listening to Beyonce and Pharrell's Water.
Okay.
Baby, yo, that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've been hearing that like a trillion times a week because I teach like 7 different people and it's the same song. So
at this point, you're dancing to it in your dreams too.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my God. So yeah, that's the bop of the week for me, like a bop of the week for them too. So shout out to all the personal one-on-one classmates. Love you guys. You're doing a great job.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. So I want this episode to be very informative.
Yes.
I want it to be personal, but not too personal.
I'll do my best.
But also just to see the perspective inside out of a dancer who's a female.
Yes.
I know we had men in dance. Yeah. It's weird to say females in dance because most females dance. But this perspective of dance and experiencing our menstrual periods and, you know, that cycle every month is kind of hard to... It's like we're superheroes though. Like, how the hell we go through that and still dance and work out and do all these different things? So I'll share my story time and kind of an embarrassing moment, but really not that embarrassing. But when I was performing, I just can't remember who it was with. I just remember it was a performance. It was my first day of my period, and when I finished performing, the back of my costume was like completely covered in, you know what. So after that, I was shaking. I blacked out and wake up, and I was at home in my bed. And I was just like, what just happened? That was like so crazy, so embarrassing. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Man, that's normal stuff. That happens to girls every day at school. Like, look.
So I was like, who else experiences these things? Like, who else? And from then on, I just that time in the month, I always used to avoid performances, fashion shows, modeling, going to the beach, anything that is physical.
Yeah.
I avoided when I was a teenager. But now that I'm more aware of my body and, you know, the things I can do and the foods that I can eat and the things that I could do, I just go along with it every month. So do you want to share your story time?
All right. Okay. All right. So mine is also a little embarrassing, but I'm sure we have all kind of done it. All right. So I was at Harrison College, and I was house captain
Oh my
for
God.
Armstrong.
I was host captain too. Oh my God.
It was swim sports.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you know that you're calling everybody's house, harassing them. You need to be here for your race at 9 o'clock. You know, so because you're harassing everybody to be there, you have to make sure you're there, you're prepared, everything like that.
Captain mode.
Wake up in the morning, period arrived.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I
cool.
know.
I had never worn a tampon before.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. That was an embarrassing moment for me too. My first time at that point. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I just shouted for my mom. Mm-hmm. She quickly, all right, so, we have to try this, hun, And I wasn't sexually active at the point either.
Okay.
So the anxiety was real. She brought it, and she made herself very present for the first application. And it didn't work for some reason. Like, it was that I was clotting too much.
Or you was just like too tense to get it in.
I don't know what it was, but no, it was that I was clotting too much, or there was too much blood that it was still leaking.
Oh my gosh. TMI.
So I decided, all right, you know what? I'm going to risk this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wear a pad and wear it under my my whole suit. And then when I get out, I'm just going to go change it.
This is not cool.
Because, the blood doesn't flow when you're in water.
That's what they say.
But yeah, they take so long to start the race that
so you're just
you can't wait. So I just kept the pad on. I just was like, okay, after the race, I'll go. You know that when I got out of the pool, the sticky part of the pad no longer had like stick.
Oh my God.
So when I started to walk, I started to like shift out. And I was just like,
oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
and then you had to walk out of the pool past the stands to get to the changing room.
Under the bottom. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing.
It was just not okay.
Sis, that is just... I mean, we all go through it though. Like,
you learn.
You learn.
Thing is, up to this day, I still don't wear tampons.
I don't either. That's not good.
I can't. I perform in pads if I have my period.
Same. Okay. Woo.
Yes.
All right. So as I was saying before, when we were performing, Black Lives Matter was a perfect time to. I think that was one of the most communal experiences I ever had with, doing the choreography, spending so much time together with each other, late nights, 4 o'clock in the morning, we finishing rehearsals.
Lord.
You really get to know yourself and the people that you dance with.
Yes.
And as I said, I really got to see the pain that you were in. Like, we had a primary class, a secondary class, a tertiary class, and Simone was part of the primary class where she did majority of the choreography, and she, after doing all these things and acrobatics, and we lifting, me and Nandi often lift you up for everything.
Yes.
So after that, it was just like, guys, I need 5 minutes to just sit down. I am in pain, and I would just see someone be in this pain, curl up, everywhere hurting. She red skin, so the whole face and the whole body red already, and it's just like, oh my God, this girl is in a lot of pain. So can we talk about that? Can we talk about your journey dealing with that during rehearsals, and your journey after that, like how it got worse, what were you diagnosed with, your experience with your doctors? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so let's just start by saying I got my period at 11.
Okay,
yeah?
Me too. It was quite young, but same.
In second form at Harrison College, I got my period at 11. It was, it was what it was. It came through summer.
Second form?
Yeah, I went there at 10 because August.
Oh, okay. I had mine in class 4.
Infants A.
Oh, you're a smart one.
I was, yeah. Caught up to me, I think. I don't know. But it started when I was 11, and then the pain really started when I was around 13 or 14. And it consistently started getting worse, like every month. When I turned about 18, I started to have to get taken to the clinic,
At
Sandy
school?
Crest or Elcourt. No,
Oh, wow.
like, because I would tell myself, you can brave it. Like, this is just a period. Like, it's not supposed to like cause you this much pain. Like, don't be a baby about it. Just suck it up. Just suck it up.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, around those peak hours, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
like the pain just surges.
Yeah, it just hits.
So that's when I would tell my mom, like, no, like I can't do it anymore. Or I got to the point where I was vomiting so much that
Oh my God. Same.
I just had zero strength. So then she would have to take me anyway. And it became too expensive to have to go every month. So then I got put on birth control.
Oh my God, at 18?
Yes.
Uh.
So put on birth control
I'm like,
now.
no, I'm like zero tolerance for birth control or anything like that. I don't believe in it.
So went on birth control now. And that's supposed to balance my hormones so that it doesn't cause so much pain when I'm having my period. That worked for about a year. And then, I don't know, it just came out with vengeance.
Oh my gosh.
For me. Like, it hunted me and came back for me. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
And they changed the birth control because they were like, okay, maybe we'll just come down in dosage. So I went from Diane 35 to Loginon.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay,
till
cool.
about 5 years ago. Honestly, I enjoyed it because Diane is like $29, $30 a month.
Okay.
And then Loginon is like $12. Vastly better.
Yeah,
But
half price.
I don't know. The Loginon kind of, it worked until it didn't. And then I went back to the vomiting every month. But it wasn't as bad as before. And then my mom passed March 2020. And I was in London when she passed. And I came back the next day. And the day that I came back, after seeing her body and visiting the funeral home, my period started when I got home because I think...
And it was supposed to come that time?
No, for sure not. It had come maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks earlier.
Oh my gosh.
So it was the stress. It was definitely the stress that
And I
had
think,
just hit my body.
I think what you, before this conversation, what you expressed to me is, as females, even as human beings, we don't realize that we hold tension in our womb.
Yes.
And I don't want to get too spiritual, but I believe in, like, these 7 Hermetic principles of, like, the chakras, your head, your root, your indigo, the heart, the sacral. And that sacral chakra kind of like is the helm of everything. That's the place of creation and movement. And as dancer, we move from our pelvis.
Yes.
We carry everything. If we are standing at the bar, we have to hold from our pelvis. We have to hold from our center. And I think that is so unfortunate that when we are stressed, we hold everything there as well. We don't release it. So yeah,
it's stress, grief, any negative energy on your body, you're gonna tend to hold in your womb as a woman.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't even know where to begin starting to deal with that, starting to unravel that, because then, like, that's natural to you to do. Yeah. It's natural for you as a woman to want to persevere and, like, surpass whatever pain you're going through to finish whatever task you have at hand. And the moment that something stops that, you start to feel inadequate and you start to push past your boundaries. Yeah. And that causes more stress.
And if you even allude that to being a dancer, I feel like even if it's not like a menstrual pain, and for sure, like I could say for sure you, Nandi, and Janae, Bridger, Maxwell, the 3 of you experience a lot of pain in rehearsals. Like outside of, down there, it's just like a lot of beating, hitting, dropping, throwing, and these girls just push through every single time. And I mean, like, you don't have to do that though. You could. You do. You don't have to put yourself through all those things. I mean, you could be a little more gentle. So I just say that to say, like, you could be more gentle with yourself even with your period. You could say, like, this is my time to rest. This is the week of, like, no, I'm not doing anything, or just slowing down and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still listening to your to your story.
I completely understand. It's so true. But
yeah, so you said your mom passed. You know, the period came. It was heavier. It wasn't supposed to come at that time.
And the pain was, it was so bad. It was, I don't know. I started to get this shooting pain, and then I started to vomit just almost instantly. Started to sweat. Ideally, I should have gone to the doctor that same day, but like I said, we tried to push through and make it happen. And I was just like, okay, this is just the stress happening. I'm going to normalize to this. I'm going to normalize to this. It's okay. 3 days passed, still vomiting.
Wow.
Went to the doctor. Turns out that an ovarian cyst had ruptured.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't even know I had them.
Oh.
Like, all the doctors were saying, okay, your pain is just hormonal. And they wouldn't check further.
So can we talk about that? Can we dissect your experience with, one, your symptoms, and two, explaining your symptoms to different doctors?
Yeah, sure. So in the beginning, when I would describe how I felt, this was in March 2020. I got that I was crazy. I got that. This was before I knew exactly what had happened, that a cyst had ruptured. Doctors had said, no, there's nothing there, you're fine. It's likely just your hormones. The pain is in your head. A lot of the pain that you feel is mental.
Wow.
You just gotta move through it and get on, and it's a natural process that takes place. And
that is crazy. Wow.
You know, until you find the doctor that finds out exactly what's wrong with you and can explain what's going on with you, then really you start to feel like you're crazy.
So eventually, what were you diagnosed with when you found that right doctor?
So at that time in March, I had been diagnosed with PCOS. That first doctor diagnosed me with PCOS. Even though I didn't necessarily show the symptoms.
Polycystic ovary syndrome?
Yes. So the symptoms, what were described to me, were overweight.
Okay. So you're gaining weight?
Yeah, no, you tend to be bigger in size.
Okay.
Not necessarily, or your weight can fluctuate sometimes, but you still tend to be bigger in size. You tend to have excess facial hair.
Okay. Because of the
excess
hormones.
body hair. Exactly. And then you tend to be older, which I found was
look
so
older?
inaccurate. No, just older in age.
Oh, okay.
Because I know so many people that are around 25 from when I started posting about it after I found out. So many people reached out and said, oh my gosh, I have that as well.
Yeah.
And why do so many young people have endometriosis and PCOS? But
it could be our diets too. It could be holding in, that stress and tension under.
It
could be so many other things.
You just don't know. But so that's in March. I was diagnosed with PCOS from the first doctor. I transferred to another doctor because I don't know why, but there's such a wait to look at, to be looked at, to be seen, to be observed by a doctor.
Yeah.
It's either you have to wait 3 weeks, or if you just want to walk in, you get there at 6 a.m. for an office that opens at 8 and you don't get seen till 4.
Oh my gosh.
So it becomes really stressful to just have to block out a whole day to be seen and then possibly told nothing is wrong. It's frustrating. But I'd had surgery November 2020.
Okay, recently.
And and I had a laparoscopy, and that's essentially, it was supposed to be like a diagnostic surgery. They just go in and see what's going on. So they went in, and now the dialogue when they went in was that I had possible endometriosis, because it can only be diagnosed through laparoscopy, and then or confirmed through laparoscopy, and polycystic ovaries. They changed it from PCOS to polycystic ovaries because I didn't fit the bill. Yeah. So when they went in, they found no cysts, because by that time I had started a pill that stops my period altogether in June 2020.
Oh my gosh.
To prevent more cysts growing.
From growing, okay.
And then they found pelvic inflammatory disease. And what I understand from it is it causes like adhesions. So like think of Play-Doh. And you're taking Play-Doh and stretching it from one wall to the other. That's what the adhesions kind of look like.
Oh my gosh.
So,
and through all of this, you're dancing, you're doing online classes in the UK.
I was teaching.
Since this podcast is about, enjoying, periods and, dance, how have you, enjoyed that during a lockdown? Enjoy that after, mourning your mom's death? And also having a surgery, like how did you survive all this dancing?
So definitely had my days where I could not move, and what I started to do was hold myself accountable and plan a class. Actually, like make a flyer and say a class will be on this day, or like take a booking and agree to teach on this day. Because I found that the pain was winning. And the
why are you seeing it as a battle?
Because it feels like a war going on. It feels like if I don't fight back, at least mentally, and try to push past it, it beats me physically and mentally.
Wow.
I would rather, and I know this is the worst way to handle it, but this is what I tend to do. I just, when I have something to do, if I'm in a lot of pain, which is majority of the time, because I'm pretty much on morphine now.
Oh my gosh.
And
morphine is next level.
Yeah. So if I have pain and I have a class to teach, I would push through, smile on my face, give every bit of energy I could, give every bit of, and when I say energy, I don't just mean like physical energy. I mean like, you got to give your vibe. Like, you have to feed people's soul when you're teaching. And then deal with the consequences after. Like sometimes I wouldn't be able to move. Sometimes I had to call my godmother, because now, I had to call my godmother to take me to the doctor.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Crazy. It's
been up and down.
So we're talking through this, and it's just a lot of information to take in, and
it is.
what I would say is that you really don't know what people go through when you see them, so be kind and be gentle, and also. We might have symptoms. You okay?
I am.
We might have so many different symptoms that we might not know are serious. And having this conversation right now might be able to, bring a light bulb moment in somebody's head. Like, oh my God, I've been gaining weight. I've been having extra hair on my skin. I might think that I'm eating too much, but really and truly it might be, excess hormonal imbalances in my body. So I think that having this conversation might, put a light bulb in somebody's head to say, go to the doctor. Although you said you were not being recognized or being believed as much as you should, this conversation and hearing, how much, well, you're like, honestly, Simone, like, shoot, girl, you are, wow. So,
But what I wanna say, you stated earlier, you had said earlier that you don't believe in birth control, and to be honest, for the years that I was using it, the birth control, it was fine. Like I didn't have the moodiness, the weight gain. I
guess everybody's body is different.
I didn't have symptoms of any kind, so I was just like, controlling your period might not be so bad,
Yeah.
And then they put me on this pill in June 2020 to stop my period altogether. So I haven't had my period since June 2020. And I'll be honest, women don't usually say their weight out loud. But because I had gotten so sick, let's say in November, I was around 103 pounds. Today, no, can't say today, March 2021. So that's November 2020, 103, 105. March 2021, I weighed 138. That I gained 30 pounds in 3-4 months. And then now I weigh 150. And I'm exercising every day. I'm teaching cardio classes every day. And the weight just keeps going up. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, I need to handle this naturally. But now I'm so scared to like come off the pill, to let my period do what it wants to do, because it's shown me that it's my enemy.
Okay, so you see that when I was in this lockdown, the one that just passed, because we've been through several, in February, I experienced a lot of pain in my period and stuff, and I would have a lot of problems when I'm dancing and working out, dealing with it. And I'm just like, there is no freaking way that as a woman we should be going through this. There has to be a holistic side or way to go through this. And I said, I'll take it upon myself, because we're in a lockdown, there's nothing to do. I would change my diet. I'll take out meat just for like a few weeks. I will disciplined. I would not eat poultry and stuff like that. I'll take out the dairy, cheese, the eggs, all that. Actually, no, I still eat eggs. I love eggs. And also the most thing that I loved about, my lockdown was the shakes. Okay. So I would do like
fruit shakes or protein shakes?
No, fruit. Okay. So like a lot of ginger root, a lot of turmeric, a lot of celery, lettuce, cabbage, all those things. And I will tell you that battle was over in my body.
Really?
Yeah, it was over. Like, from the time I start eating foods from the earth, our internal earth and the external earth, everything changed. Like, my flow wasn't as heavy, it wasn't as painful. I'm not saying that could work for you.
No, yeah.
But I'm just saying,
every
like,
period is different.
But for me, I felt like I was battling myself for like years, and then when I just changed what I put into my mouth, then a lot of stuff, changed. Since we came out to the lockdown, I started putting some other shit in my mouth. And I mean, like, bad foods all over again, and the pain start coming back again. But I feel as though, like, if we start there at being more holistic, not saying that medicine is not good for you and doctors and all these stuff, but holistic living and being able to breathe on your diaphragm, drink water, eat roots, like things from the earth, then we'll be able to heal ourselves.
That's so, like, you're so right. Okay, but let's put this into perspective now. If you're in so much pain,
you're so afraid.
Actually can't, not even, you're in so much pain that you actually can't move.
To do those things.
You can't stand up over an oven. You can't stand up by a counter. You can barely walk downstairs. You tend to go for the more convenient option in food. Okay. And the more convenient option in food tends to be the one that's not good for you.
I understand. I understand. There's this and then there's that.
You try to balance it. You try to prep your meals. You try to account for the days that you could be down, and that's really hard to do. You have to say to yourself, okay, so I might be sick like 3 days out of this week, so let me just prepare food, like, just in case. Wow. So like you're predicting already that you won't have like a fully productive week. And that's really demotivating. It's
another thing for me, because I always think about the energy and the vibe that, life brings. And as women, again, I'm being a little more spiritual than I normally am, but I think is worth it. As women, we sync with the moon a lot.
We do?
And that's just my philosophy. It might be something different, but that's just my thing. And I feel like I realized there's a new moon and there's a full moon, and each different type of moon syncs with our flow. My flow syncs with the new moon. So at that time, I could literally Google when's the new moon, and I know when my flow is. And I feel as though when we flow, because the moon is a flow thing. We flow down there, if you get what I'm saying. So it's just also to connect to the environment. That's just me being a little more spiritual than I am. If you connect with the environment and you know what's happening on the outside world, the outside is literally like a personification of what's happening inside of your body. That's what I think.
It's
Maybe
true.
not.
And no, I understand what you're saying, but to think like that is to be hopeful.
Yes.
And at the point where doctors have told you it's in your head, you tend to lose it, and you need more factual. You need more logic. You need to be like straight about this, like what's going on exactly on paper, black and white. So I just,
there's that.
I don't know.
Going forward, like, I mean, okay, we're talking about this. Is there like anything you would like to tell young ladies, even older people, like, this is what I'm going through? If you have any early symptoms of PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids, periods, anything like that, what would it be and what should you do?
So,
unfortunately, we don't have a doctor that will give us any medical advice. So please don't take any. We're not medical professionals or anything. But I just think, like, what did you do, or what advice would you give? Just advice.
So aside from that disclaimer, not everyone's symptoms are going to be the same. Like we stated before, you have the excess weight, you have the excess hair, you have you tend to have heavier periods, or your periods tend to have heavier periods, or they tend to skip months. They tend to be inconsistent.
Okay.
That's also a sign of like a higher testosterone level in your hormones. I have also found, I don't know, don't quote me on it, but like, if you tend to suffer with depression, that tends to also correlate
stress,
a lot.
Any stress.
And the thing about age that you will see when you Google it is wrong. Is wrong. I can't even express to you.
Starts at any age?
Like, there's no look. People try to give every disease like an image, right? Because what you do when you Google something that's happening to you is sometimes you would read like WebMD, or like
you're about to die on WebMD.
But the second thing that most people do is go to images to see if this is what it looks like.
Yes.
Right. So everybody tries to give one particular image to like a disease, and it's just not possible. So it doesn't have a look. It doesn't have a particular body structure or race or age or, none of that. And then you could be as active as I am and suffer.
So for active people then, what advice would you give? Because you kind of gave it earlier when you said you would plan out these 3 days to do stuff and then rest on the other days. If you're experiencing, heavy periods or stuff like that, immense pain, what advice would you do to be as productive but not work as hard?
So I can't be hypocritical, so I'll just give the advice that I give myself.
Okay.
Which is, do what you can when you can. Because when you can't, you really can't. So if you have 10 minutes and you had like a break of pain, get up and do something. Put a load of laundry in the washing machine. Like, wash your dishes, like, do something that you normally wouldn't be able to do if you were standing, like when you get that ease of the cramping.
For me, when I teach or when I dance, I think moving kind of helps you flow a little bit. I don't know if it helps for you.
See, I thought so as well, but then I found that fitness is very different to dance. So they say that dance is not a sport. And
is the
anybody that has seen or smelt a dancer after a rehearsal,
oh my gosh,
will understand it is a sport.
It is a sport, for
so
sure.
I mean, art, yes, but still a sport. So ironically, I was teaching fitness classes and just short choreography classes online, because you stick to 30-45 minutes to teach just a beginner online class, and that's fine. So those classes were okay. They were half hour, and I set the tempo. And where my stamina was good, people were getting pushed. So everyone benefited from the situation. Now I went into a rehearsal space where I no longer set the tempo. The rehearsal was around 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
This was a month and a half ago, maybe. I had a ruptured cyst by the end of it.
Oh my gosh.
Coming up to the end of rehearsal, I just had to ask, like, can I just sit down? And I tried to run the last time and just to leave, just to make sure my body had it and just to leave. When I got home, wow, I could not sleep. I was just tossing and turning. Like, I started to vomit. I even, like, WhatsApped my doctor, was just like, can I come in?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It was brutal.
So at this moment now, you're still on your road to recovery, you're saying?
There is...
Or not yet?
I don't think that they fully know the extent of what's going on with me. I'm convinced, because other than that, there's no treatment. There's no cure. I'm on pain management at this point until I see the other specialists. And like I said, weeks. I booked an appointment for a specialist on May 4th. And the next available appointment that they gave me was June 23rd.
Wow.
And so June 23rd, they'll see me, and maybe I'll get something new. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But I don't think that I don't know if there's a road to recovery, and that's where the hope kind of dies, because they don't really know the diseases in and out. They're doing the research now because they're realizing, oh my God, so many women suffer with this. We need to figure out what's going on. But I feel a little bad that you said there's no hope, because there always is hope. And women have lived for centuries and centuries and centuries of period. And I believe there's always hope. And I just want to tell you that, like, first of all, thank you for coming here. We're not ending. I just want to put out. We're not ending right now, but I'm just saying, like, you're so brave for telling your story. Even though you're still going through it, I can see that you're very emotional about it. I can feel you shivering, but it's okay. Thank you for sharing this story. And also, there are several other ladies that dance with us, that come to classes, that go to your classes online and are experiencing the same thing as you. And I just want people to know that they're not alone in anything that you're doing and they're feeling. And they're not crazy. You're not crazy. The pain you feel is real. Like, it's real. You're not crazy.
You're not crazy, for sure. Because I thought I was crazy until I saw someone, and I'm like, okay, I'm not that bad.
Like, it has to be normalized. Unfortunately, people are gonna experience pain, and that should not be normal. But, like, understanding.
I don't think the pain should be normalized, but I think you should know that the pain exists and then try to not normalize that type of pain.
No, I was trying to say that the treatment for the pain should be normalized.
Treatment, definitely.
Not even treatment for the pain, treatment for the source of the pain.
Yes, the source
should be normalized.
Yes. Okay, hun. Yes. So thank you for telling me about your story.
Yes.
We're going to bring it up a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to know, this is the last segment.
Okay.
What's in your dance bag?
Okay.
Yes.
So, this AC here is perking, and
you cold?
Woo woo. So I'm very sensitive to temperatures.
Okay.
I find that my body needs warmth. It tends to overheat. So even when I was living in London,
girl, you must be so cold out there. That's where you're shivering. Oh my gosh, you must put on a little bit to me. Come closer to me. Come closer to me.
So,
oh my gosh.
So it's basically, it is. But even when I was living in London, and it was very cold, that made the cramps worse.
Oh my god.
So because the muscles are getting tighter as it's getting colder.
Yeah.
So in my dance bag, I tend to try to have a heat rub.
Okay.
Now this is if I walk with a dance bag, and I'll explain that. So a heat rub. An extra shirt, because I find that...
You want to exchange places? Come quick, come.
I find...
Sure?
No, it's fine. So I find that...
Kind of bad.
No,
so cold,
we're good.
Okay,
so
cool.
I find that with the the pain, I don't know if anybody who's ever in pain, their body is under stress, and so they tend to sweat a lot.
Yeah.
So I've found that I always have to carry like an extra shirt because like I sweat a lot, like a lot, and sometimes it's a little embarrassing when you're going out someplace nice and you can't. So you wear black.
Yeah, because you can't see all the sweat marks.
So you just wear black.
Yeah.
You know. So we have the heat rub, the extra shirt, and you know, and some painkillers. We don't do with the Panadol, you know, with the morphine. But that's if we're not gonna drive home.
Okay.
Within, you know, if we're gonna drive home within the next 30 minutes, then okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
there's no way that our rehearsal is only 30 minutes. By the way,
don't do it. No,
unless
I know
it's a class.
For sure, I just would take it at the end because that's when I would start to push my body, and then the pain would just kick up.
Right.
So I only take it when it's absolutely necessary. Like if I feel like I can battle the pain, I do.
Okay.
I make sure that I do. But yeah, so that's if I carry a dance bag. The reason I said if I carry a dance bag is because I tend to try to have like short rehearsals.
Sure, okay.
Like just be as productive as I can in the rehearsal and get back to my home.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
So I don't necessarily have to
How
walk
did you
with a
handle
bag.
that in the UK though? Because it's a long travel home, not true?
Oh yes. But that's okay because in the UK all you have to do is like take off your clothes because you wore like 3 pants. So get down to that first layer.
Yeah.
And pile it up in the corner. And I always walk with a fanny pack. Anybody who knows me, I always have my fanny pack right across my chest. So just have everything in my fanny pack in terms of like my card, my keys, any money, anything like that. And then
just go home.
Put the layers back on.
You don't got any water, any fruits, nothing in your dance bag?
No.
Simone. It's true, Simone. Just pull up at rehearsal like, yeah, man, I here.
Water for what? No.
It's true.
We put shine and drink after.
It's true. Well, honey, this was great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to express? You want to tell
any
female or even as a co-dancer who does not feel the pain that you feel, but you would like them to help you or assist you or have more empathy for you in rehearsal, what would you like to tell them?
I don't know. Sometimes empathy in rehearsal. No, I can't say in rehearsal. Sometimes empathy for a situation like this where it's said to be natural, it's said to be not genetic, but, you know, as a result of the body and its processes or whatnot, it can come across sometimes as pity, like, oh, I feel bad for you, oh, Kadir. And that makes you feel a little handicapped. You know,
I mean, it is a disease, though.
It is, but
we need to normalize that first. I feel like pain. To say that, I was reading statistics on my way here, and period pains are like top 10 in like endometriosis pain is top 10 in worst pain on earth. Top 10.
It's because so we've talked about endometriosis in terms of like your period. And yes, it can flare up and become inflamed and like really cause like a lot of discomfort during that menstrual cycle. But it flares up randomly. That's why I said it could be 3 days out of the week. It doesn't have to be my period week. Literally, anytime, any place, it can flare up. Like sex.
Oh my gosh.
Not okay.
You want to go there? Or?
Okay. You know,
but it's painful.
You know, there are only like limited positions it can be done. Sometimes it even like can affect your sex drive because you're experiencing the cramping, you're experiencing the pain. And if you don't necessarily have that mentality of, I just want to feel like a little bit of pleasure to get out of this rut, it's bad because then for me, if I like would orgasm, it would tense up and my pelvic muscles would become so tight that it would cause me to sometimes like want to vomit or become instantly nauseous or get so like such bad pain that I can't like stand up or like stretch out.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's I don't know. That might be me. That might be her. But
girl,
you know,
get it together, girl.
it might be associated, and I don't even know, because there's not really like a conversation around it like that. Like, yeah, sometimes you would have one person talking, like here, you would have one person talking, and they would relay their experience. And their experience might not be my experience. So I can't be like, okay, so this could be attributed to the endo or the polycystic ovaries or the pelvic inflammatory disease, but I don't, you know? So if you had like a panel of people just come down and sit down and say, okay, this is what we're experiencing, this is what I did to help it. Like, I feel like a lot more girls, and especially a lot more Barbadian girls, because we don't have access to like forums, and we
Caribbean
don't have
girls,
access.
because they do say that you see this more in black women, black Caribbean women. So
Exactly.
it's a cultural thing.
It's hard. It's hard to even place what pain is from what.
Could be from our ancestors. Never know.
You know, it's really hard. So like you have to. It's like a mental game sometimes to enjoy sex, and that's no way to live.
No, not at all.
You
girl.
know, that's no way to live.
That should be freedom at that point, and it's not. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all
Well,
I'm saying.
girl, we can end there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
This has been a plethora of information. We applaud you so much for shivering under the AC. And also, you know, enjoying all your pain. Like, wow, girl. I wish you the best. And this is no pity.
Yeah, no.
But this is all empathy. Straight up good vibes, good energy all the time. And yes, even in your dance career, I wish you the best. You know, building your personal brand in dance, and continuing dancing with different tribe and dancing African everybody. Like, yes. Just wish you the best. Keep pushing, girl. Don't push yourself too hard.
I loved the conversation, and you know I will push. I will push.
Yes. So
I know you will too.
Yes, I am. I am pushing.
And cut out the bad food.
I know. Some days I got some though bad foods. Though.
Cut it out.
All right, Mia. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you took away all of the tidbits and everything from this conversation. And if you want to give Simone or anybody else some advice on this disease, you can just drop it in the comments below.
Or if you want to share your experience as well, because I'm sure that everybody wants to know like what you've been going through too. So really comment and say it. Like say how your pain has been treating you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, guys. See you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Awesome. Thanks, boo.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was. Wow. Girl.